Hello and welcome back to our Lord of the Rings LCG solo progression series. And today's quest is the Nightmare version of Foundations of Stone, which was the 5th adventure pack in the Dwarrowdelft cycle. A quick reminder, in this series we're playing through each quest in chronological order of the game's initial release, and we'll only be using player cards that were available at the time of this quest release. I'm calling this deck Someone with Intelligence. That's a quote from the book, and it's also from the movies. It's altered in the movies, but Pippin says that they need someone with intelligence in the party, and they made it a little bit funnier in the movie by making him look silly by saying mission quest thing. That was a funny part, and I remember people laughing back when I saw that in theaters. Good memories. Anyway, so Pippin is pretty widely regarded as one of the worst heroes in the game, but he's really good in this quest. So my idea to use him came about when I first started playing through this and trying to think, what could I do? I had a goblin follower engage me during setup, and I wished that I could do something about that. And then I thought about Pippin and started kind of tinkering with the idea, and this really works well. He is a spirit hero, the Hobbit hero, 6 threat, 2 willpower, 1 attack, 1 defense, 2 health. If each hero you control has the Hobbit trait, which we have 3 Hobbits here, then he will gain a response. After an enemy engages you, raise your threat by 3 to return it to the staging area until the end of the round. That enemy cannot engage you. So it's sort of like Light in the Dark built in, I suppose, but with the threat raise, which doesn't make sense, right, in a low threat deck. But we have so much card draw and so much threat reduction, we'll eventually get our threat down to 0. And not have to reveal shadow cards or take enemy attacks. So the idea is no enemy will ever attack us in this quest. Now the problem, I guess, the only time I've lost with this deck, and I played it through multiple times, was a particular playthrough where I just got like the Mithril Seeker and a couple of Goblin Swordsmen. Like I got 3 of those right out of the gate between setup and round 1 and 2. And so shooting those back to staging, let's just say round 2, I had to do that. That's 9 threat increase. So I threaded out pretty quickly, but every other time I've had that situation happen, I've had enough threat reduction and tools in my hand to deal with the problem before it got out of hand. But that can be a little bit of an issue. One new card in the deck is the unique, it's kind of the spirit version of Tome of Atanatar, which we used in the 7th level Nightmare. But this is the spirit version of this idea, which is an attachment, unique attachment. Attach it to a spirit hero. Reduce the cost by 1 for each hero you control with a printed spirit resource icon, so it'll cost us 3. We can discard this as an action to play a card in our discard pile as if it's in our hand. And so there is a particular 4B in this quest that can make you discard your hand, and that would include Will of the West. And so this gives us a chance to play Will of the West and bring all of our cards back from being discarded. That's why it's included. And maybe there's other uses, but that's the primary reason. Now I have 53 cards in this deck. I wish that I could get down to 50, but I just can't cut anything here. I need all these cards. And so that's just the way it goes. Well, let's get to the quest and see how we do. Because we have Bilbo, the first player draws 1 additional card in the resource phase. So options, cards per round is going to be 2. Not the greatest card draw, but obviously we have to have a all Hobbit lineup, and the only other lore Hobbit is Pippin, so I can't use Pippin, lore Pippin with Spirit Pippin. So Bilbo makes an appearance here. And this is a good opening hand, just mostly because I have Hintermoth River Song. I like having him. It's very helpful to know what to commit and what not to commit and all that. So opening hand looks good. It's good to have a good meal. I like having Gandalf. Good opening hand, I suppose. So we are playing the Nightmare mode. We have to remove the following cards in the following quantities and shuffle in the Nightmare cards. We're playing Nightmare mode, and the only change is a force effect added when 3B is revealed. The Dripping Walls. Your journey has led you to a decrepit portion of the mines, untouched by dwarven pick for many a year. The air grows thick with moisture, and the walls almost appear to be weeping. For setup, place the Foundations of Stone and counter set aside out of play. The first player attaches Cave Torch to a hero of his choice. So here is Cave Torch. We'll put it on Pippin. since he never gets to play, we'll give him the Cave Torch. So the Foundations of Stone encounter set is set aside already for us. It's right here, second encounter deck. There's 30 cards that are just set to the side, and this is the all the other encounter cards making up the current encounter deck. A low rumble sounds from below. There are a variety of underground waterways in Moria, but they should not be disturbed. When revealed, reveal one card from the encounter deck per player and add it to the staging area. It's going to be Sigil Mineshaft. Not so bad. This is where, we could have gotten a Goblin Follower that would engage us immediately. We could use Pippin's Response, shoot it back to staging, and it wouldn't engage us that round. So that's kind of the idea. Resource phase. And we drew 2 cards because of Bilbo. And that would be 2 copies of Steward of Gondor. Let's go ahead and play Hindamarth Riversong. We'll use his action, Exhaust Hindamarth Riversong, to look at the top card of the encounter deck. And it is Giant Cave Centipede. Okay, we're going to quest with all 3 of our heroes. We know that we can. If we didn't have Hindamarth, I wouldn't know yet if I could commit characters because of Sudden Pitfall. Okay, but we reveal Giant Cave Centipede. When revealed, each player at this stage shuffles the card in his hand with the highest printed cost back into his deck. That's going to be Gandalf. He gets shuffled back in. Now I have the option to use this action. I could increase my threat by 5 to just get rid of Sigil Mineshaft, but then Giant Cave Centipede would engage me. So let's just let our threat go up by 2. We were unsuccessful in the quest. We will travel to Sigil Mineshaft and refresh. We're not going to encounter Giant Cave Centipede for now. Next round. I never mind seeing a Test of Will. Let's go ahead and spend 2 resources to attach Steward of Gondor to Pippin. We'll exhaust that to give him resources right back. Let's play Daeron's Runes, drawing 2 cards and discarding the card. It'll be Steward of Gondor. And then let's just see what's coming out here with Hindamarth before we make a decision. Okay, Watchful Eyes. So I don't want to play Deep Knowledge. That would force me to have to engage Giant Cave Centipede. I am going to leave Bilbo ready because of Watchful Eyes. So let's quest with our other 2 Hobbit heroes. Oh yeah, we can actually have played Aether Swordsman. Each Outlands character you control gets +1 willpower. So not quite enough to progress past Sigil Mineshaft. We reveal Watchful Eyes. When revealed, the first player attaches Watchful Eyes to one of his heroes. Limit 1 per hero, and this is in a condition attachment. If attached hero is exhausted at the end of the combat phase, reveal 1 card from the encounter deck and add it to the staging area. We'll attach that to Bilbo. He's ready, so no problem, and we made 4 progress. And our threat is underneath this engagement cost, so we'll just refresh and move on to the next round. Steward of Gondor, Hindamarth reveals. Okay, Sigil Mineshaft. Let's attach Good Meal to Sam. And we're going to see our threat go up such that we have to deal with Giant Cave Centipede. So let's go ahead and play Deep Knowledge, Doom 2, draw 2 cards. And we definitely want to play Arwen Undumio. We can lower our threat and not have to deal with Giant Cave Centipede, so I don't think I want to play another Deep Knowledge. Yeah, so let's quest. And I think we'll be able to clear the Sigil Mineshaft. That's good. And we reveal Sigil Mineshaft. We made 1 progress and cleared the other one. And let's go ahead and play, just to keep from having to worry about Giant Cave Centipede, let's play Elrond's Council. We can do that because we control Arwen. Action: if you control a unique Noldor character, give another character +1 willpower until the end of the phase and lower your threat by 3. And I just did that during the action window after quest resolution. I didn't want the willpower boost. All right, we travel here, and our threat is under 28, so we'll leave Giant Cave Centipede there. Refresh next round. Okay, here is a Hobbit Pipe. That's good. Steward of Gondor, Hinnomarth reveals branching paths. So you can see there's just a lot. I mean, I won't necessarily show. I know branching paths is coming. So never mind. But there's not as many enemies in this deck as there are locations and treacheries. So it's very unlikely that you get 2 Mithril Seekers and a Goblin Swordsman. It's more like this, where we got an enemy and we got a few locations, a few treacheries. So usually it's not much of an issue, but you can be overrun and see your threat really climb if you're not careful. Okay, I'm not worried about Giant Cave Centipede, and I don't want to play Deep Knowledge and assume that I can lower my threat, so let's just stay put. With what we have here, we will reveal Branching Paths. While Branching Paths is in the staging area, each dark location gets +1 threat. That means 4 progress on Sigil Mineshaft. And I could take the action here to raise my threat by 1 to place a progress token on Sigil Mineshaft, but then I'd have to engage Giant Cave Centipede. So we'll just leave it as is, refresh next round. Okay, there we go. There's a Galadhrim's Greeting. And we'll use Steward of Gondor. Let's use Hinnomarth to see what's coming. It is Dark and Dreadful. So when revealed, deal 1 damage to each exhausted character. All right, let's go ahead and draw a card using, let's go ahead and play Deep Knowledge Doom 2. Oops. We're at 30, drawing 2 cards. And we'll do it again. Let's play Deep Knowledge Doom 2. Gosh. 32, drawing 2 cards. We'll play our second Aether Swordsman. Each Outlands character you control gets +1 willpower. And we'll discard Good Meal. Discard Good Meal to lower the cost of the next event you play this round that matches the attached heroes. Oh yeah, so actually I need to attach this to to Pippin, don't I? That matches the attached hero's sphere by 2. So we discard that. And we play Galadhrim's Greeting to lower our threat by 6. And in response, we exhaust Hobbit Pipe to draw a card. And then we'll play Daron's Runes to draw 2 cards, and we'll discard Steward of Gondor. And now we have a Sneak Attack Gandalf. That's good. It's always like getting rid of Giant Cave Centipede. Might as well. It's 3 threat. Although we could just at this point not worry about that. We could lower our threat with Gandalf and just any enemies come out just become inconsequential, but I think I will get rid of the 3 threat. It's worth it. We will go ahead and Sneak Attack Gandalf into play and destroy Giant Cave Centipede, and we'll quest. And we'll stop there, I suppose. We reveal Dark and Dreadful. When revealed, deal 1 damage to each exhausted character. 2 if the active location is a dark location. This is a dark location, so we'd lose Arwen. I wouldn't mind so much losing Hinnomarth because we could play him again, but we'll just cancel that with Test of Will. And we made 4 progress. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gandalf comes back to hand. And we'll travel to Branching Paths, refresh. So we're, as you can see, turtling. We're not worrying about, making too quick a move here. We want to set things up. Hinnomarth reveals Mithril Seeker. Let's put out a Ranger Spike so we don't have to worry about him. And we will quest here. That'll work. We reveal Mithril Seeker, and he is going to be ensnared by Ranger Spikes. This takes his threat down by 2, and he won't make engagement checks, so he is offline now. And we'll do our quest resolution here. We made 3 progress and cleared Branching Paths. Forest after Branching Paths leaves play as an explored location. look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, choose one to reveal and add to the staging area. The other 2 move to the bottom of the deck. Okay, so that choice will be, I definitely don't want to put these enemies out. They'd engage us, so let's put out a Fouled Well. Moving these 2 to the bottom of the encounter deck. And revealing and adding Fouled Well. When revealed, each player may choose and discard 1 card at random from his hand. If all players did not discard 1 card, Fouled Well gains surge. Let's do a random here. It's going to be Map of Aernal. And so it didn't surge. And we'll travel here. Let's play Elrond's Council to lower our threat by 3. And exhaust Hobbit Pipe to draw a card. Refresh next round. Steward of Gondor. Hinnemarth reveals Goblin Follower. At some point I need to put Fast Hitch out on Bilbo, so let's put that onto him now. So this is my solution for Watchful Eyes. I don't want to worry about playing Test of Will to cancel it, and I don't want to raise my threat by playing Power of Orthanc and Miner of the Iron Hills. It doesn't do us any good, and so I can just put this on our heroes and quest with them and then ready them and never have to worry. So all 3 of these will eventually be out. Don't want to waste Ranger Spikes on the Goblin Follower. The engagement's way higher than our threat at this point, and it only contributes 1 threat. But, you know, I think maybe I've got 22 cards. Card draw's a little slow at this point, but we're fine. So let's just take our time. So we reveal Goblin Follower. When revealed, Goblin Follower engages the last player. So he engages us. We'll, in response from him engaging us, you know, we're here in staging. We raise our threat by 3 to put him back in staging. And before quest resolution during the staging step, let's play Dwarven Tomb to return a card from our discard pile to our hand. It's going to be Elrond's Council. We'll play that and lower our threat by 3. And we'll go ahead and boost a character. We'll say this Ithir Swordsman. In response to lowering our threat, we exhaust Hobbit Pipe to draw another card. And we made 6 progress. So 1 on the current quest. Foul Well leaves play. At the encounter phase, our threat's way underneath the Goblin Follower, so refresh next round. Okay, here's a good meal. Let's attach that to Pippin. I need to remember that because it has to be the attached hero that is discarding the card. Well, I hope I got that right in previous playthroughs. I haven't really thought about that in a while. So it might be that I was putting it on the wrong Hobbit, but still not an issue. Okay, so Hinnemarth River Song reveals Fouled Well, which I won't worry about canceling with Test of Will. Excuse me, I got to sneeze. Had a sneeze come on. Okay, so I don't want to waste a good meal. I mean, I was thinking about playing Dwarven Tomb to get a Galadriel's Greeting, but it's not worth it until I have a couple of Hobbit Pipes. So I'm just going to discard a card. I don't really need any of these particularly. Let's play this Gandalf from hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do that. We'll draw 3 cards. And here's another good meal. We'll attach that to Pippin. We will play Daron's Runes to draw 2 cards, and we'll discard Arwen Undomiel. Here's another Hobbit Pipe. There we go. So we will play Dwarven Tomb, returning a card from our discard pile to our hand, a spirit card. It'll be this Galadriel's Greeting. And we'll discard Good Meal, to lower the cost of the Galadrim screening to 1, lowering our threat by 6, and exhausting Hobbit Pipes to draw a card each. And we'll quest, we don't want to progress yet. We reveal Fouled Well. When revealed, each player may choose and discard 1 card at random from his hand. We'll do that. Okay, it was Test of Will. We made no progress. We will travel to Fouled Well. Refresh, and at the end of the round, Gandalf is discarded from hand. Next round. Steward of Gondor. Hinnemarth reveals Dark and Dreadful. When revealed, deal 1 damage to each exhausted character. Alright, so I have played all my Dwarven Tombs, I think. Let me think. I have 1 left in my deck of 10. And then how many Test of Wills have I played? 2. Okay. So if I wanted to cancel that, I'd have to be able to draw cards, which I could with Gandalf. Let's go ahead and sneak attack Gandalf into play. And we'll draw 3 cards. Okay, there's Test of Will. You know, we're in questing at this point. Is what I was thinking before we commit characters. I mean, I would only lose Hinnemarth. He's the only exhausted character, and Gandalf. So I don't necessarily think I'm not gonna waste a Test of Will on this. But let's go ahead and discard Good Meal to lower the cost of this Galadrim's greeting by 2. So it costs us 1 to lower our threat by 6. And we exhaust these 2 Hobbit Pipes to draw 2 cards. And we'll quest with Gandalf. And that's it for now. We reveal Dark and Dreadful, deal 2 damage to each exhausted character if the active location is dark. It is, so 2 damage on Gandalf, he's exhausted. So is Hinnemarth, he leaves play. No other exhausted characters. We made 3 progress. Gandalf comes back to hand at the end of questing. Refresh. And next round. And let's play Hinnemarth and use him to reveal Goblin Follower. Okay. Steward of Gondor. Only have 3 cards left to draw. How many Good Meals have I played? I think all 3. Yeah, all 3 have been played. So if I want to play this Galadrim screening, I guess I should. Let's just lower our threat by 6. And exhaust Hobbit Pipes to draw 2 cards. All right, here's a 3rd Hobbit Pipe. Let's attach that to Bilbo. So all 3 are out. Might as well put out another fast hitch here. We'll attach that to Pippin. And I don't want to waste Ranger Spikes on this Goblin Follower. And I don't want to really keep playing. I don't need to play all my allies because we're going to have to discard them before long anyway. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and just clear this location here. 4 minus 1 is 3. That's fine. And we reveal Goblin Follower. When revealed, it engages us, but then in response, we raise our threat by 3 to push him back. And we made 4 progress. Okay. During travel, we will... Let me just think real quick what I want to do, because I'd like to... I need to probably go ahead and progress next round. That's what I'll do. Yeah, we'll go ahead and progress here, I think. All right, refresh. Leaving all these enemies, in staging. Okay, there's our third and final fast hitch. Let's attach that to Sam. Steward of Gondor. And what's coming? It is Lightless Passage. All right, let's do this. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll play Gandalf from hand and lower our threat by 5. And we'll quest with everybody. And we'll reveal Lightless Passage. We made 12 progress, so 18 on the current quest. And we have advanced to the water's edge. Small rivers cut their way across your path. Some are not much more than a trickle, and recent looking too. Another rumble shakes the walls. This time it seems to be above you. Force. After a player commits characters to the quest, he must discard the top 2 cards of his deck. All right, no reason to travel here. Gandalf comes. No, we played him from hand, actually. Yeah. Okay, so let's definitely ready during the travel phase. Maybe Bilbo so that he won't be exhausted, and that way Watchful Eyes won't fire. Refresh. Gandalf is discarded at the end of the round. Next round, we don't draw any cards, and that's on purpose. Steward of Gondor. Hinnemarth's going to reveal Sigil Mineshaft. Let's bring Gandalf into play and lower threat by 5. And then we will quest. We'll play Elrond's Council to lower our threat by 3 and boost, let's say, Gandalf. So our threat's down to 2. That seems good to me. We'll reveal Sigil Mineshaft. Action, raise your threat by 1 to place 1 progress token on Sigil Mineshaft. Now, I'm not going to clear the water's edge, but I actually am about to, because what I'm going to do is play Pippin's, a resource from Pippin to play Lay of Nimmerdale. Action, choose a spirit hero until the end of the phase. That hero gets +1 willpower for each resource in its resource pool. That's going to be 16. There we go, 35. Let me look before I decide. So let's just say that during the action window before quest resolution, that's the action where I just played Lay of Nimmerdale. That's the action window. So I've not placed progress yet. Let's just look in the discard pile and see what treacheries there are, because they will carry over. So these all have to do with, they hurt me if I have exhausted characters. So I'm not worried about the one Crumbling Ruins. So let's go ahead and ready Pippin and Bilbo. And so now we, during that action window, now we have quest resolution. We made 24 progress and cleared the quest. And it says, after a player commits characters to the quest, he must discard the top 2 cards of his deck. And so right now there aren't any cards in my deck to discard. Now, if I wanted to, during the action window before quest resolution, I could go ahead and play a Will of the West to recur all these discarded cards, but I don't want to. I want to wait. I want to have an empty deck when I advance. All right, so Washed Away comes out. With a groan, the ground crumbles under your feet, the entire section of the tunnel giving way to a deep darkness and the rush of water. There is a feeling of weightlessness, followed by the icy, wet clutches of an underground river. And so there's a wind revealed, and there's a force effect. Force always comes first, so let's do the force effect. When stage 3B is revealed, discard all mount and artifact cards from play. I don't have any mount or artifact cards. This is item pipe. So no. Oh wait, where's Map of Aerenal? Yeah, I need to grab that. I shouldn't have advanced with Map of Aerenal in the discard pile. So if I had thought to, I would have played Dwarven Tomb. This is important to grab Map of Aerenal, and here it is. And then I would have played for 3 cost Map of Aerenal and attached it to Pippin. Just should have thought to do it. I forgot that it was in the trash. I need this attached to Pippin before I advance. So that would have been 4 less. So I would have made 4 less progress, but it would still been with Lay of Nimrodil. But it would have been enough to advance. So this is not a it's a record. So it's not mount or artifact. And now when revealed, discard all item, armor, weapon, and light cards. So item cards that I have to discard would be Hobbit Pipes, their item. And I think that's it. This is not an item. This is a trap. This is a skill, title, skill, etc. Armor, don't have any. Weapons, I don't have any. Light, there's a cave torch that is discarded. So now we also discard all encounter deck cards from play. So all of these cards, which means that Ranger Spikes just got discarded into my discard pile. And all these locations, everything's discarded. Now we shuffle all enemies and treachery cards in the encounter discard pile together with the Foundations of Stone encounter set. This deck becomes a new encounter deck. Remove all other encounter deck cards from the game. Then starting with the first player, each player draws a random stage 4. Okay, so I'm just going to remove these cards from the game. We'll just move over here to the encounter deck 3. And then we're going to bring into play the second encounter deck. The set aside one becomes the new encounter deck. And it tells me to shuffle into play enemy and treacheries from the discard pile. So these 4 enemies were washed away, and they're kind of going down with us to the Foundations of Stone. And then Dark and Dreadful, the 2 copies of treacheries, are shuffled into the encounter deck. All the other locations, etc., are moved to this set aside play, set aside out of play thing. All right. Also, I forgot this part. Each player must also discard allies he controls until the total printed cost of all allies he controls is 6 or less. So we'll discard Gandalf and Hinnemarth. And so this is 6 or less. Aether Swordsman times 2 and Arwen. All right. So it says this deck becomes a new encounter deck, which has happened. Remove all other encounter deck cards from the game. That's happened. Starting with the first player, each player draws a random stage 4 quest card. Remove all other stage 4 quest cards from the game. So there's 4. So I'm just going to choose randomly 1 through 4. I'll just select it here. Let's see what we get. We got number 1. So this is not the one that's going to make us discard our entire hand, so I don't mind that. But there is, so it's going to be this one, old 1 layer. So if we had the one where we had to discard our hand, we would just play Map of Aerenal to play a Will of the West and bring all the cards back into the encounter deck. But it's a little risky. It's my least favorite thing that can happen because there are treacheries that can hurt you, and you at that point you don't have Test of Will in your hand until you draw it. So there's not really another way around it. But when stage 4 comes out, that's the most dangerous. But I win. Sometimes I force that to happen over and over again to make sure. But this one's kind of tough too. This is the second hardest location, and so it's kind of cool that during the first playthrough, we went to stage 4B, the 4th one. This is the first one, old 1 layer. Looks like the Return of the Jedi thing. When revealed, create your own staging area. This matters for multiplayer. Reveal 4 cards from the encounter deck and add them to the staging area. So I'm just going to do it like this. 4 cards will be added to the staging area, and one of them is going to be Unspeakable Thing. Force: when Unspeakable Thing engages a player or attacks a player, attach the top card of that player's deck to it. X is attack and defense. It's the printed cost of all attached cards on this card. If there are no cards attached, X is 5. Okay, here's a Primeval Thing. Forced: whenever this enters play, which is this did, attach cards from the top of the first player's deck to it until the total printed cost of all attached cards is 6 or higher. Right now there's no cards, and so it doesn't happen. That's kind of why we wanted an empty deck. And Deep Deep Dark's going to surge. Doomed 1. It tells me, when revealed, attach 1 card from the top of the first player's deck to each nameless enemy in play if able. No cards to do that with. Now I still have Test of Will, so I could cancel anything I needed to. Nameless Thing. Okay, so a lot of the nameless things. That's kind of cool. This one just has a forced effect when it engages us. And then here's another Deep Deep Dark, Doomed 1. And we can't do anything because our discard pile is empty, or our deck is empty. Another one of these, Doom 1, it surges into another nameless thing. So we have a lot of nameless things out in play. This is cool. I'm not mad about that. Okay, so we want to go ahead before we move on. Let's play a Will of the West. Action: choose a player, shuffle that player's discard pile back into his deck. So that's going to be removed from play, and all these cards come back to our deck. We can ready Sam if we need to. All right, so during the travel phase, nowhere to go. This, by the way, says after the 5th progress token is placed on Old One layer, join another player at the beginning of the travel phase. Again, we're not multiplayer, so none of that's going to matter. Okay, during the encounter phase, our threat is 5. It's lower than the lowest engagement cost. Nameless Thing. Refresh. And next round. And we'll play Daron's Runes to draw 2 cards. And we'll discard Arwen Undomiel. Let's play Deep Knowledge, Doom 2 to draw 2 cards. Let's put out Hinnemarth River Song just so we know what's coming. Okay, we don't because this is going to surge. With that in mind, let's go ahead and play Ranger Spikes so an enemy would just not contribute its threat. Okay, Steward of Gondor. Now we don't have, we had to discard the 3 copies of Hobbit Pipe, so that's kind of annoying. Yeah, I had to discard them. I was about to say, wait, this isn't the stage that makes you discard your hand, but we have to discard them because of the 3B when revealed. At any point in time, I can play the Galadrim's Greeting. I don't need to worry about that, but let's go ahead and play our 3rd Aether Swordsman. So all of our Allen's characters have +1 willpower. So, I always leave an Arwen just because I need to be able to play Elrond's Council. And Aether Swordsman, I leave those allies in play. Everybody else gets discarded. Okay, so let's quest for everything that we have. And remember, there is a treachery. There's 2 of them that deal damage to exhausted characters. We would lose our Aether Swordsman. So I'm not really worried about... I would say, well, let's ready these guys, and I guess we can. But we don't want to lose all 3 Aether Swordsmen. So if I get that, I'm going to play a Test of Will. Okay, we reveal Durin's Axe, which is just going to surge into, and it's not guarded, it's going to surge into Shivering River. While Shivering River is in the staging area, it contributes its threat to the total threat in each other player's staging area. Again, just a multiplayer thing. Now, I'm not making the needed progress to advance here, and I'm okay with that. I don't really need to rush ahead. I don't want to play Lay of Nimrodel yet. So I think we're fine. No threat increase. During the travel phase, we will travel here to Shivering River. And we can take this action if we want to. Exhaust a hero to claim this objective, then attach Durin's axe to that hero as an attachment. Let's do it. Let's attach it to Sam. It's a restricted attachment. Now I could do something if I wanted to here. I could optionally engage one of these enemies and put it back on top of the ranger spikes, but I don't want to do that. Okay, refresh. Next round. Okay, there is a Hobbit pipe. Steward of Gondor. Hinnemarth reveals that a elder nameless thing is coming, and it's going to be, ensnared by ranger spikes. So all the elder things are coming out. That's cool. Not mad about that. All right, so we definitely want to draw cards here, I think. So I don't have a good meal. So let's just quest. We'll play Elrond's Counsel, lowering our threat by 3 and boosting willpower somewhere. We'll exhaust Hobbit Pipe to draw a card. We'll play Deep Knowledge, Doom 2 to draw 2 cards. All right, we reveal Elder Nameless Thing. This has a forced effect when it engages us, but it's not immune to attachments, so Ranger Spikes grabs it, and we made 2 progress. There we go. 2 progress on Shivering River. And this only does something when it's in the staging area. Okay, we'll refresh. Oh, and I should have readied Bilbo so that Watchful Eyes didn't fire. Next round. And I made the comment that usually in my playthroughs, all 3 Watchful Eyes come out, so it's kind of strange that only 1 is out. And the others, they're not in the deck anymore. Okay, Hinnemarth reveals another nameless thing. Whoa. All right, no problem. Let's play another Ranger Spikes. And we definitely want to lower our threat here. 1, 2, 3. Let's lower our threat by 6. And exhaust Hobbit Pipe to draw a card. Okay, there's another Hobbit Pipe. We'll attach that to Pippin. And just get some more card draw. Let's play Dwarven Tomb to recur this Elrond's Counsel. We'll quest. We'll ready everybody here with our fast hitches. We'll play Elrond's Counsel to lower our threat by 3 and boost our willpower. We'll exhaust Hobbit Pipe to draw a card. Cool, another Hobbit Pipe. And we reveal Nameless Thing. Ranger Spikes attaches to it. And so we make 1 progress. So the going is slow here. I'm not worried though. Refresh. And our threat's low. It's 1, so none of these enemies are engaging us. Next round. Let's play Deep Knowledge, Doom 2 to draw 2 cards. Let's play Daeron's Runes to draw 2 cards, and we'll discard Steward of Gondor. Here's a good meal. We'll attach it to Pippin. Hinnemarth reveals Chill of the Roots. So we'll definitely cancel this with Test of Will. Let's attach this Hobbit Pipe to Bilbo. Let's play Dwarven Tomb to return a spirit card from the discard pile to our hand. It's going to be Elrond's Counsel. And we will just quest here. And we're going to play Elrond's Counsel to lower our threat by 3 boosting our willpower by 1. We'll exhaust these Hobbit pipes to draw a card each. And we'll reveal Chill of the Roots. Let's play Test of Will to cancel that. We made 1 progress. So again, we're just getting by. If I needed to, I could advance with the Lay of Nimberdale, but then I'm just kind of waiting because I only have 1 other. I mean, I could play Lay of Nimberdale and then get 1 with Dwarven Tomb, so I'm not sure. I'm just kind of taking more time than needed, really, but I just had that thought. I realized that. Okay, let's play Daron's Runes to draw 2 cards, and we will discard Hinnemarth, I guess. Yeah, so yeah, we can move on here. Let's just play Lay of Nimberdale and just finish this thing. Okay, here's Goblin Followers coming out. Okay. We will sneak attack Gandalf into play. And can we destroy anybody here? Yeah, we could get rid of this nameless thing, but because the X value, X is the printed cost of all attached cards on this card. So Ranger Spikes would count. I think I remember there being I don't remember what the answer was. I'm not going to destroy this guy because I don't remember what they said about Ranger Spikes being. It would make sense that it would count, but there was a clarification in the FAQ. I just forget the exact situation there. So I think these X values are 2, but I won't worry about them. What I'll do here is actually draw 3 cards. And we're going to quest and play Elrond's Council to lower our threat and boost our willpower, exhausting Hobbit Pipes to draw a card each. Oops, not 4. And so yeah, we've almost drawn our entire hand here. And we'll reveal Goblin Follower. When revealed, Goblin Follower engages the last player. So he comes down, we just push him back with Pippin. So he's back up here. We made 5 progress. And what we'll do real quick is let's go ahead and play with Pippin. Let's play Lay of Nimberdale. Choose a spirit hero until the end of the phase. That hero gets +1 willpower for each resource in its resource pool. That's 17. So we made 21 progress. 1, 2, 3, and 18. And again, it just dawned on me all this time that I could have played Lay of Nimberdale and then grabbed it again with Dwarven Tomb. I just didn't want to get to the next stage and not be able to win it. I just thought I'd rather stay here. But so this guy's up in stage and can't engage us anyway because our threat's so low. So we advance. It says after the 5th progress token is placed on Old One layer, join another player at the beginning of the travel phase. If you cannot join another player, all players continue on to stage 5. Since I cannot join another player, I just continue on to stage 5 during the quest phase is how I read it. And so we go to stage 5. And it's going to be Out of the Depths. The shaft shoots upwards, the glimmering lines of Mithril illuminating your way out of the depths of the mountain. The makeshift ladder is narrow, but you cannot linger in the realm of those things of darkness who gnaw at the roots of the world. When revealed, reveal 1 card from the encounter deck per player and add it to the staging area. That card is going to be something we can't see. Oh, it's Lost and Alone. When revealed, each player chooses and shuffles a hero he controls into his deck. When he draws that hero, he puts it into play. So, I could just do that with Sam. He'll come back into my hand next round anyway. So, yeah, I'll just do that. I won't cancel it with Test of Will. Let's cancel it with Test of Will. I'm being silly. Nope, we didn't make progress. That was quest resolution. Okay, Gandalf comes back to hand at the end of questing. Nowhere to travel. And we will refresh and finish her up. There's our last 2 cards. There's our Lay of Nimberdale. And what's coming, Hinnemarth can reveal that for us. It's going to be Shivering River. All right. We'll attach this good meal to Pippin. We don't need to worry about, well, let's do this. Let's discard good meal to lower the cost of Galadrim's Greeting to 1, lowering our threat to 0. The sneak attack Gandalf into play. And at this point, we can destroy somebody. We can't destroy Unspeakable Thing. And I just don't remember the ruling on Nameless Thing. I would think that he has an attachment, so I think that his X is 2. But this one's 3, so let's just get rid of this. What am I thinking? We just need to destroy him. Send him to the victory display. Let's say we do that during planning. Gandalf comes back to hand at the end of planning. Let's do it again during questing. And get rid of this one. Goes to the victory display. I think I read that right. His X is 3. Yeah. And we will quest. It says here, each player cannot commit more allies to the quest than the number of heroes he is also committing to the quest. So I'm going to commit 3 heroes. 1, 2, 3. Already them. And so I can only commit 3 allies. So it makes sense to just do the Ithir Swordsman. And we reveal Shivering River. As you can see, we're not making any progress, but what we're going to do is play Lay of Nimmerdale. Action, choose a spirit hero until the end of the phase. That hero gets +1 willpower for each resource in its resource pool. That's 17. So that's going to be 35. And we made 17 progress. And won. If the players defeat the stage, they've won the game. And if I needed to, I could have played Dwarven Tomb and played Lay of Nimmerdale again. Oh, and I could boost my willpower again and make 18. So we defeated the quest. That is it. So 18 rounds, felt more like 30. Again, I made that mistake. I forgot about the fact that Map of Aernal had been discarded. And so you just need to move on to stage 3B with Map of Aernal attached to Pippin. In case you get that stage that makes you discard your entire hand, then you can just grab a Will of the West out of the discard pile and play it. And then you've got your cards back in hand. But that was, I think, a neat way to do it because, we got to see all the nameless things. So it's super thematic in that way. And Lay of Nimmerdale comes to the rescue, and Pippin just keeps all these enemies from attacking us. There's a few really nasty shadow cards, so he negates that completely. And our threats is 0. So pretty fun, I think. Definitely took the long way around in this one. I think we saw everything. We even got to see a lot of the nameless things and all that. Yeah, we saw all the different versions of the nameless things. We didn't see this location, Nest of Horrors. It looks like something out of Arkham Horror LCG. Treacheries. Yeah, we saw all the cool stage 5 stuff. Stage 4 and 5. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. There were a few times where I had to clarify a few things, made a few small little mistakes, but no rules mistakes. I think I just forgot about things like Map of Aernal. It seems like there's one other thing where I undid something, but whatever. I think it was a legit playthrough and at least demonstrated how the deck works. A little convoluted and pretty cool to use Spirit Pippin. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining me.